Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Ashita no Joe, episode 19. This morning, I listened to the fighter rap classic song Can't Be Touched by Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. And a line from it really stuck out to me. You will not win, 'cause I will not lose. And it stood out to me because it's almost a perfect mirror to Joe's internal world. We got one of our first really clear windows into how Joe feels when he's really activated, when he's really emotional about something, what's going through his head, and what thought processes come online. And the conclusion that I came to over the course of the last episode is that what's happening inside Joe is even stronger in some ways than a framing like, you will not win because I will not lose. It's, I can't lose, not I. And I think that comes from a place of I am not someone who loses. I do not lose. I not equals loser. It's an identity thing. And Joe now has to prove that identity to himself more than anything, and then to everyone else. Because he believes it, but now it's shaken. Now he's worried. And so when people are worried about something like that, there are kind of a couple of paths that they can go down. When you have a strong, rock solid identity that you believe in 100%, and something appears that makes you question that identity, that fractures it a little bit, either you break yourself down to incorporate the new information, and that is painful and difficult and tough. And that's a storyline that we tell in places like Land of the Lustrous. I think tells a lot of stories about breaking down and taking in new things and growing as a part of that. There's the sort of classic idea that I lean on fairly frequently of kintsugi in Japanese pottery. A mug or a cup or a pot breaks, and you put the pieces back together and use gold to fuse them together, and you create a thing that's new and still useful and as strong as it ever was, and even more beautiful. And that's a great metaphor for breaking down and incorporating new things. But there's another path that we're well structured to go down. Like we're well built for it from an evolutionary biological perspective, from worms all the way up. And that is you double down. You double down, you get headstrong, you say that the world is wrong, and you're going to prove exactly what you know to be true 100%, and you're going to double down even harder on it. And we see this all over the place. We see it all the time in political interactions. We see it all the time in interactions between individuals where one person just refuses to give up the identity that they want to hold on to, you know? They refuse to let anything that would threaten it do anything but bolster it. That makes me stronger. Your resistance only makes it harder. And I think that's where Joe is. He doesn't have that option. He doesn't have the option for growth. He has the option for solidification, becoming more rigid and maybe more brittle in the process. I don't know if Joe is going to actually lose this tournament. He's in the midst of the intra-prison tournament. He's still a part of it, just barely. And he had to cheat to get there. He had to break a bunch of rules and get foul, call a bunch of, what do you use? Pull a bunch of fouls in order to break his opponent's guard and open him up so he could actually land some punches with these oversized, overheavy, overweighted gloves that he has chosen through his own hubris, his own arrogance to use. I don't know if he's actually going to win here. I think it would serve him very well if he lost and had the opportunity to grow, had like the support around him to teach him what he can learn from that loss. I would love to see Joe's internal brittle identity broken down by this circumstance, but I don't know that that's actually the story that we're going to tell. And I'm a little bit worried by that. I'm a little bit worried that we're just going to gloss over it and sort of even present it as a good thing that Joe has this attitude, this like I know in some ways it's the fire in his heart and it's the passion for the thing and it's the refusal to give up and it's the human spirit made manifest, right, in this boy who wants to beat people up and prove himself. And there's a badassery to that, no denying it. But there's also a weakness to it. I can't lose. If you're a person who cannot lose, then you can't try things that you're not good at already. If you're a person who cannot lose, then you can't really learn either, not in the same kind of a way. You're very limited. If you're a person who can't be defeated, then why try anything new? Why not just continue focusing on the things that you already know that you're good at to the exclusion of everything else and push everything else away? Every other opportunity for interaction is an opportunity for failure and to be judged and to be seen as less than. So why would you do that? When you have an identity that's like, I'm the boxer who does not lose, why would you go and interact with the other inmates in any other capacity? It just creates cracks. It just creates fractures. It creates like, you have to fold yourself into this monolithic identity of the not loser, the never loser, the never mistake maker. That's a really tough place to live. Can you imagine holding somebody else to that? Right? Let alone like a kid who doesn't know that much about the world. A lot of parents do that, you know? And it breaks their kids up and causes all sorts of problems going on into the future. But like, can you imagine somebody like Joe trying to impose those ideas on somebody else? How crazy it is. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to do this thing because you're not good enough yet. And so you're never going to get good enough because you're never going to be allowed to try. I can't lose. So he can't really even learn the lesson that Danpei seems to be teaching him. Now maybe he will. Maybe everything that we're doing so far is already folding into the lesson. But Danpei gave him this look that's like, you're going to lose. And I think that that's the intent here, or at least part of it. But Joe powers through. He refuses. And again, there's something badass about that refusal. It's like, here's the Kobayashi Maru, the unwinnable challenge, and I'm going to refuse to lose to it. I'm going to break the rules of the game. I'm going to go around it. I'm not going to win. I'm not going to play an unwinnable game because that's not how we succeed. That's not how we move forward. Dope. Badass. But you also get to sidestep the lesson that's intended, you know? You get to hold on tighter to your internal identity. Get to hold on tighter to never losing, never having to grow. Only growing when it suits you. I don't know what we're going to do in these next couple of episodes for Ashita no Joe. I'm really curious to see how Joe's internal world evolves over this. I'm really curious to see if there are any matches in between now and him fighting Aoyama, how Aoyama evolves over the course of them. And when they eventually clash, I'm curious whether they'll each learn things from it. I'm pretty confident that Aoyama can learn things from whatever happens in his match with Joe. But I'm not very confident that Joe's going to be able to actually learn things in fighting Aoyama. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Danpei is really galaxy-brained and really has this locked down and has his ideas together and has his strategy kind of down pat. But Joe's headstrong beyond headstrong, and with the hubris of these heavy freaking gloves weighing him down, he's going to try. He's going to try his damnedest not to lose. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to do a little drawing. I've got an idea for kind of like a silly, simple one. So let me turn to that. I'm just going to go straight for pen because it feels right. I do have a reference frame from the previous episode up. It's when Joe is like sort of like half slumped over, but he's like laughing and it's kind of weird. Only thing is, yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. There we go. I don't want that sort of triumphant vibe here, because I'm doing something else. There we go. That's my guy for today. Joe laden down by his chosen burden. Big gloves. It's not an image that really reads winner. It doesn't like scream, that dude's got it. He's got this. It sort of screams, this guy's like fighting against his own limitations in a way that's not healthy in order to succeed at something that isn't really valuable, except to him. All right, the drawing is done and the stage is set, and I am ready to watch episode 19 of Ashita no Joe and find out whether we can succeed in any capacity, learning, winning, overcoming your own hubris in this next set of episodes. I'm kind of expecting that we're going to watch 19 and 20 together just because the feel of the arc, but if it ends before that, then we'll just watch 19. Let's get into episode 19 of Ashita no Joe. I've got it up and ready to go. Watching the decensored versions, 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, and a beep beep timer to count you down. Is this the city? Oh, right, the fearsome liver blow, the title. Oh, right, so that's why I thought that Aoyama's gonna have, like, a cool move. Are we betting? I wouldn't discount him, dude. Yeah, wait. How are they getting information about it? Yeah, why is that funny? Right. Oh, oh, he's back for the weekend or something. He looks sad though. Maketan janai? Yeah, but not the way. Oh, ooh, he won without honor. Is a victory with one without honor actually worth something? It is to Joe. It confirms his identity. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but he disrespects the art. Remember when it first happened? I was like, the ritual, the rules. You subject yourself to them. Not Joe. He refuses. Tears in his eyes. Oh boy. Oh, he's flying. Oh boy. He's playing keepy uppy. Skeleton's like, whoa, shit, fuck that. Full keepy uppy. Holy crap, Joe. Oh my god, really crying. Ooh, yeah. Is he alive? Damn. Holy shit, is he not alive? Damn, dude. Nutty the fuck, Joe. Yeah, he'll do it. He's not happy about it. Heh he's looking up. He's not looking at everybody else. Uh-huh. Feels pretty hollow. Hmm. He doesn't argue it with him. He goes, "All right, you're right." Okay, we'll settle it in the ring, I suppose. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, is he gonna tell them? Is he gonna tell them? Are we gonna become informed? No. Be good little kids and piss off. Oh, Sachi, no! Sachi, escalation. Yeah, Sachi. Yes, he did. Okay. Goddamn, you're running out of chalk, Sachi! Whoosh. You sure about that? He's working. Yeah. Yeah. Do they? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody. So we're in that zone now, too. We're part of the audience, you know? We're like, ooh, what's gonna be? What's gonna happen? It's all anybody can talk about. It's a mental game. It's a good move. He just has the instant theme song, Riz. He just has so much aura. I'm sorry to use like modern terms for that, but I think it's super funny. Oh, did you see the little signatures in the top corner? Oh, oh Scotchy, just a little bit. The boundless power of all the world's martial arts will be revealed in full. Dampe's running too. He has been. Damn, he's giving him mittless mitts too. He's keeping him moving, keeping him moving. Getting him ready to dodge everything. Skeleton is becoming one of my favorite weirdos. Unless Dompe's got his training right down to the money. That's gonna get Joe fired up. Smart. Smart. Wow. What a dream. Hi, Joe. Alone, alone, a stray dog. Why is he being so nice to this kid? What's Joe feeling here? It feels wistful and almost envious, but I'm not sure. Ah, shit. Just a simple thing, but it sucks. With the whistling behind, it's like back to where we started, kind of. That's fun. He's created a challenge for himself. Hmm. Hmm. We'll see. Whoa. It's righteous retribution, and he's gonna get it. Wow. And again, tears in the rain, kind of. All right, we helicoptering back to the island? How far in are we? We were about halfway through the episode. Okay. No. So why is it big news? The money is here. Everybody in maximum formal gear. Salute! Salute! Oh shit! Do we bring the whole squad? Did she have a little camera? Or was that just a purse? How does he feel about boxing, I wonder? Okay, he seems chill. Okay, so now we're performing in front of him. Ooh, but he might see some dirty fighting garbage. I'll show these fat cats what's good. What boxing really is. I wonder if Joe's, like, dickheadishness is gonna... Yep, absolutely. It is a camera. Say something! Yeah! He doesn't even put up his brave face. It's time to rumble. Let's go, Sachi. They stand above. He really is the challenger here. He doesn't understand at all. Oh, it's a bunch of gloves. Dude. Dude. You're gonna lose all your teeth, dude. You're gonna lose all your fucking teeth, dude. You fucking idiot. That's dumb, dude. Oh, Joe, put in a fucking mouthpiece. Yeah, I got this. No worries. We're gonna talk about dirty fighting. He's ignoring the fucking talk. Truly a disgrace. That's so wholesome, but she hasn't seen his showboating garbage. End. That's fair. That's the part of it that is kind of badass, you know? Oh, he's cornering himself. Oh, that's a cool framing. But it also might be subconscious. People do this all the time. I do this to myself. It's like when you have homework and you just wait till the last minute until you're backed up against the corner and then you can do it. Same vibe. Okay, neat. It's a neat perspective. What are you gonna say? Yo, snap back, dude. Yeah! Yes, okay! Hey, wait, no, I'm gonna say something more. Hey, back to your corner, bud. He's not worried. He's not freaking out. He's just chilling. I almost got it. No. He won't have to. He's brought the book. So what's the penalty? He's going to treat boxing with respect. It's not about that, man. It's not about that, man. Yeah, who do you think you are? Mm-mm. Mm. No, Mr. Referee. Get thwapped. Get thwomped on. Oh, that was gorgeous. Ah! Yeah, with the heaviest gloves in the universe. Gonna fight the fastest fighter in the world. Just deliver your chin unto him. Oh, there it is. Swing it air. All right, I like that we've got this guy in the mix. He knows his boxing, it seems. He's exhausted already. His feet are tired. He hasn't trained. And he doesn't have a mouthpiece in. Oh my god, Skeletor. He doesn't have a secret strategy that he can pull either. He's just got heart and drive and determination. There he goes, kind of figure eighting and stinging. They're little stings, but they fucking add up, man. Especially when you can't hit back. Oh, he's fully eyes closed. This is going to be over fast if something doesn't change. Hmm? Yes, he does. Down. He can call it a slip if he wants to, but that was down, just like any other. Yes. You're down, though. Here we go. Referee doesn't care about you. He's the referee. You're really facing down loss now here, Joe. Whoa. Whoa. We're back in his mental space. Why? Okay, here's that full pressure on your identity. Is that our end? Gonna full stop there and move directly into the next one. There's very little here that I want to like directly discuss too much. There are a couple of things. I really like the introduction um of Yoko's father, or grandfather. I think it's really cool to have this other character observing. It changes the way that everybody acts. Everybody's putting on a bit of a performance, and that puts like external pressure on Joe to do the same and fall in line, and we know he's not going to. That's really interesting. And then revealing that your guy actually like knows his boxing stuff. He gets to take the role of, right, like Rikishi in earlier points and Tange Dampe in other points, where he's the one who sort of gives us commentary as we go, and we have like a knowledgeable commentator because we can't have Rikishi do it. Really, he could actually. We can't have Dampe do it because he's adversarial toward Joe in this circumstance. Whoa. Okay, I love that we start with the kids and following up on how they feel about the whole situation and talking it through. It's a cool way to kind of recap things, which is pretty neat, and it raises questions about how they're actually aware of the whole thing. But they are, and he won. Dompe says with the saddest face, he won without honor. And we get to see it again, and that's exactly it. And it goes kind of even further than the previous episode. He's lifting him up and playing full keepy uppy. Whoa! And it looks like he goddamn kills the guy. I'm sure that he doesn't, because we probably would have stopped things and not just breezed on past a death in the ring. But shit. He's holding onto the ropes, and the ropes are shaking with every punch. Jeez, man. Fists of Fury. So, how about that, old man? It's time for you to give me my prizes, man. Give me what I deserve. I won. I did the thing. And he finds out, maybe he doesn't like realize it here, but the whole set of circumstances is empty. Yeah? Like, having somebody raise your hand in front of everybody else for you alone doesn't mean anything. And if nobody respects you for it or thinks that you deserve it, it doesn't mean anything. This moment, he says this, and Dompe just sort of almost like it's almost meme worthy, because it's like this full money the fuck double take out of Dompe. Like, are you serious, bro? But he raises the hand, and we turn, and Joe, like the classic boxer getting their hand raised, is looking forward. Yeah? Looking forward, standing next to the referee. Ref raises your hand. You're like, yeah, yeah, look at me. And looking out over the audience, like, yeah, I did this. Joe's looking only up, only at his own fist. He's like, I did it. It's like the final moments of Gollum in the fires of Mordor. Like, I did it, my precious, my victory, the one thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. And nobody else gives a shit, man. You're just tearing yourself apart for this thing. I watched a reaction to the movie Cars, last night, and there's a line in the movie Cars that actually rings really true here, where one of the characters, who's a little bit more mature, tells the victory and winning focused Lightning McQueen regarding the Piston Cup, the big like trophy. It's only an empty cup. And eventually, in the end of the movie, McQueen like makes a choice that gives that up for honor, kind of, for something better than that, for like respect of the game, for like love of racing. He gives up the cup, the winning, the victory, for whatever fills the cup. Because the cup is just an empty cup. The moment is just an empty moment. It's what you feel about it. It's how it matters that makes it matter. And to Joe, it kind of doesn't matter, except that it checks the box of winning. And it doesn't check the box of I'm a loser who has no value in the world, you know? Because it's either black or white. It's catastrophic binary. It's either I'm a winner and all is well, and I can continue on with my identity intact, and I don't have to deal with anybody else, and I don't have to take shit from anybody, or I'm a loser and everything that I know is totally, totally wrong. There's no room for incorporating little bits or like changing a little bit or anything. It's just I have to win no matter what, and I'll sacrifice everything. Joe doesn't like care that much about honor and stuff. It's never been a thing that he cares about. But it's still something that he's totally willing to sacrifice. I think that he would really be willing to sacrifice just about anything to fulfill that identity, to make sure that it's more that to make sure that he never has to question it, because questioning it is hard. As long as he can smile at his own raised fist, he's fine. Isolated from everyone else, pushed away. And Dompe says it straight to him. This was a horrible match, your technique and etiquette. And he lets his hand drop and leaves Joe alone in the ring. And we get this face from Joe that's like, huh? Lets his arm kind of fall. Huh? What are you even talking about, man? What? Come back here. What are you fucking talking about? That's all stupid. This boxing thing, it's all about that. No, boxing's about winning. That's all that matters. And at this point, Dompe smiles. I guess you get it after all, Joe. I wonder, I don't know. I don't know if Dompe actually agrees with him here in some level, or if he's doing that sort of like, all right, bud, you follow your path, we'll see where it takes you, with the kind of knowledge that it's going to end differently than Joe expects. I'm not sure. We're still in that space where Dompe is managing to be like pretty obtuse, pretty unclear to us. You're right. If you win, good for you. But I wonder if you can defeat Aoyama. What? Come on. Yeah, totally. Of course. But Dompe's pretty solidly believes that he doesn't stand a chance. No, why'd you fire Joe? I thought he was actually going to give them an answer and talk through it, but no. Sachi throughout this episode is the cutest and the biggest Joe stan, which you gotta love. She takes the role of somebody who doesn't question it or dive any deeper. It's just like, Joe wins, and I support him. That it's good. I like it. She gets to be the voice that tells us, like, this thing that he's doing has an element that's badass. There's an element of this that is really cool of Joe. To not give in no matter what. To fight till the end no matter what. Determination, says the old man, the grandfather character, and like on one level, 100% dope, badass determination, not giving up. On another level, man, it is hubris. It is hubris. It's refusing to surrender even though you have a tenth of your army's, the enemy army's capacity and no supply lines, you know? It's, yeah. He's not gonna lose. I like this sequence where we talk about the betting and we sort of zoom out and we're focused on everybody's perspective on the match incoming and then how that influences Joe. I think it's cool. I just want to see a match. Rikishi and his goddamn awesome theme music. The bottom. This does seem like a total, like, I'm just gonna say something vague and sound really cool here. The bottomless power of martial arts will be revealed to you quite clearly. When I hone in on this line, the bottomless power of martial arts, what is the great power of martial arts? It changes the level of the playing field, right? It's knowledge. It's knowledge and it reorganizes the playing field. When you have skill and knowledge, you're more capable than someone who isn't. And in context here, it's like a 12-year-old girl who knows jujitsu versus a 220-pound, like, male athlete. The girl who doesn't know jujitsu's fucked. The girl who knows jujitsu has a chance. That's the power of martial arts, I think. Yeah? I think that's probably what we're getting to here is like the basics, the basic foundations that Aoyama has are definitely less than Joe's, right? He's smaller, he's weaker, but training in martial arts changes the level of the playing field to the point where Aoyama is probably above Joe in some capacities. At least, I mean, in his respect for the game, in his strategic thinking, in his mental, right? He's unshaken by Joe's quips and bullshit at the beginning. He's laser focused on fighting and fighting well. Like, not even really on the victory goal, but on like, I'm gonna do my damn best with every punch and every dodge and every moment and every bit of footwork. I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna fight well. Hmm. The bottomless power of martial arts. We'll see. Could you be a little more specific, maybe? I really like Skeleton over the course of this episode. He's really funny. Um, maybe it's because he's not just being a total asshole the whole time. He's actually leading some of the investigation and thinking things through a little. But I really like it. And I like what we get to see from Donpei and Aoyama. They're locked in like true trainer and trainee. And the little smacks behind and then turning to throw some punches and force him to dodge. It's cool. So everybody bets. All right, let's go see what Joe's up to. Well, he's not doing anything. In part, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what techniques would train him well. He doesn't have access to the next for the sake of tomorrow, you know? He doesn't have the he doesn't have the ability or the knowledge or anything to set up cool technical things for himself or to set up a training regimen. And he doesn't really have the internal wherewithal and structure to set himself up on a training regimen. He could very easily start running laps around the building, right? But he won't. He could very easily set himself a new task of digging and stuff, but he doesn't, at least as far as we see. He just does what he has to, and then he rests. He sits on his laurels, waits, and waits to be overtaken. And probably, again, in many ways, Aoyama will overtake him. He already has. He already knows way more footwork than Joe. He already has, punches that Joe doesn't have. I come back to that bottomless power of martial arts. So we bet, and Joe alone hears them practicing, and he sort of peeks over and watches, and he sees a kindness from Donpei, tying his shoe, taking care of him, and then hides away. And then it all falls down. It all it's like again, it's a really simple thing. It's just a shit falling apart underneath you. It sucks. It's ah, it's like you're having the worst day of your life, and then the toilet clogs, right? And the power goes out. Oh, and you didn't pay your cell phone bill, so you can't even call the plumber. It's like, fuck. All these things, they all happen at once, and it rains and it pours. So Joe wanders around alone in a scene that takes me right back to our episode 1 Joe, the whistling in the background, the sunset. Alone. He goes up to these water droplets and goes to punch droplets. I'm not exactly sure what exactly he's doing, but it seems like that's a cool thing to do. He does it for a little while and then he's overcome. It's fun for a moment. He gets all sweaty. What are you trying to do, Donpei? Why are you pushing me into a corner? No matter what, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna make Aoyama pay for your betrayal. That tells us exactly how Joe sees this. Donpei has betrayed him by going and training somebody else and leaving him alone. He's been abandoned, a stray dog. And now he's gonna fight and bite anybody, and he's gonna bite the kid who took his master away. Fuck, man. Ah! Alright, helicopter's in, squad is here, Shiraki Yoko has arrived, and Joe spits. Professional match? It must mean us. What is that supposed to mean? It's supposed to mean that he's good or something? Nah. Sachi will cheer him on. She's adamant about it. But Joe's kind of... That fire just doesn't seem to be there until he gets challenged here. And then he takes on his kind of usual attitude. Smirk and laugh and kind of chuckle and joke and needle at other people and try to get them to drop their guard. Unlike you, Aoyama is excited. Stop pretending he doesn't frighten you. He runs after Nishi, and Nishi brought him all the different gloves. Like, hey man, you don't actually have to do it that way. You have a choice. Doesn't listen. Poor Nishi, man. He deserves so much better. Fuck this! Just give me the biggest ones. You're stupid and useless. Alright, man. Here's your mouthpiece. Nishi doesn't say anything back. He just lets Joe go. Joe refuses a mouthpiece. Just gonna be bloodied up. Yotto! Oh, so cool! Hey! Hey, Lou, what's up? Ring it whenever you want. I don't really care. I'm just chilling here. I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna win. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Rules, pfft, I don't care. Just fucking ignoring the briefing and taking this whole attitude. Finally, somebody calls it out for what it actually is, and I didn't read it this way, so I'm really appreciative of the talk. What a disgrace, and I agree. Cocky. He acts so cocky. Bluff must be his middle name. We get this perspective. I wouldn't say it's all a bluff, and it's not because it's not a bluff, but because bluffing forces you into a position. It forces you to stand. Joe's used to having his back up against the wall. And when you're used to having your back up against the wall and only really locking in when push comes to shove and the rubber hits the road and you're down to the wire and all those phrases that we use for this sort of thing, there's something really interesting. It's happening here, maybe for different reasons, but we can extrapolate out to a broader concept. If you perform best when your back is up against the wall, you'll very often train yourself to put your back up against the wall when you need to perform well, right? So I did this all throughout middle and high school. And this is stuff this is stuff that's linked in many ways to people with ADHD. There are connections there. And there are connections to, I'm not sure what the phrase that I'm looking for is, but like motivational cycles. And I'm a perfect case study for it. So I took pride throughout my high school and college career at being able to churn out essays and papers and stuff lickety split, like over the course of a night, just slam down a paper and be pretty confident just based in my capacity for writing and for research, because I had some training in research and data gathering and information gathering and citations and stuff, and how to weave those into an essay and just how to formulate one, and training in like extemporaneous speaking and prepared speaking. So like how to prepare speeches, how to prepare logical arguments, and then how to do those really quickly. So I came into high school and college with the capacity to do that really rapidly and do it fairly well, and to really churn out work fairly quickly. So when you can churn out work in the matter of a couple of hours that you get given a month to do, and you don't really have your motivation circuits online because you're distracting yourself constantly with games and mostly games, what do? You can't get yourself up to the activation threshold to actually focus in and lock in on the thing until your back is up against the wall. So you find ways, I found ways throughout my school career to put my back up against the wall, to wait until the last minute, to refuse to work on a thing at reasonable timelines, and to wait until it was really maximally stressful and really maximally scary, and then do the thing really fast in a big rush and then get it done, and then I was always rewarded for it, right? It worked. I would come back with a solid A, top of the class type of grades, and neat. That's super great. But I wasn't really like, I was pushing my ability to churn out rapid work when highly motivated, but I never expanded my ability to do incremental progressive work over the course of a long span of time, you know? And to like percolate on things and let things happen and flow through me and to really learn those skills. I learned the skill of having my back up against the wall and fighting my ass off to survive, because that was the only time that I could lock in. And there were times and ways and elements and pieces of my life that maybe I can't find exact examples for, where I would have to structure things, at least subconsciously, to force myself into a corner, to force myself into a place where everything is as bad as it could be, and now you finally have to start acting. But if I had started acting a year before when the problems started to emerge, they wouldn't have brewed into a thing that had me stressed and like anxious and freaking out and locked down, right? And kind of like frozen by all that anxiety until the point where the anxiety is so big that I have to do something about it. Otherwise, it's all going to fall apart. But I would spend months or weeks or huge periods of time that I didn't need to be in this brewing anxiety space that honestly is taking years off of your life. It's like reducing your capacity to think on all levels, all sorts of things. It has terrible, terrible impacts on you. Messes with your sleep, makes you in kind of a permanent fight or flight that could totally be alleviated if I just like went through the process of doing the thing slowly. But I didn't. I trained myself to only activate and like a sleeper agent turn on in the last possible second when it's, maximally scary. And then got rewarded in the process. So it's like, what do you seek? You seek challenges that you can procrastinate on until you absolutely can't procrastinate on them anymore. And then you can succeed at them in this like hyper activated state that's really terrifying, but also really activated, which is a little bit addictive. And then you get rewarded for it, which makes it more addictive. And what are you going to do the next time you get an assignment and you tell yourself like, oh, I'm totally going to start working on this essay the moment that I get it, and I'm going to get it done so soon, and then I'm going to have my brain is going to be free, and I'm going to be free, and it's going to be chill, and I could hang out and it'll be fine. Like, if I materially did the exact same amount of work in the day after I got the essay assignment, I could spend the entire month chillaxing with none of that threat, none of that nervousness, but I would never be able to do that. I would never be able to do that because I never constructed the skill of like disciplining myself to go and do the thing that I don't really want to do right now when there are other options. No, I only built the skill of doing that thing when there's no other option. When it's like you're staring down the barrel of a gun and it's like I'm gonna fail, and then I'm gonna get kicked out of this school, and then my English teacher in high school always said, and then I'm gonna lose everything and have to go live in a van down by the river. That was like her like, what's the bad result that you expect to happen if you like pursue an artistic career or something? It's like, oh, well, you're gonna lose everything, you're not gonna have a good job, and you're gonna end up living homeless in a van down by the river. It's like that's what's gonna happen to me. Had to get up to that absolute threat point to really lock in. So Joe, in his fear and his uncertainty, this guy at least says maybe he's doing the same thing. Maybe he's backing himself into a corner so that, like a cornered dog, he sees red and goes full ape and crazy and beats the shit out of whatever's in front of him. But what happens if the whatever's in front of you is like a good fighter who isn't gonna get the shit beat out of them when you see red and start freaking out? Joe doesn't have a strategy for that. His way of winning the previous fight was use his head and legs and arms and stuff and break the guy's guard and then pummel him with sheer force. But I don't think that's going to work against Aoyama. And I definitely don't think it's going to work with Dampé being a stickler for the rules. Dampé's rule sticklerism is probably the last thing that we want to really focus on in the episode. It's like forcing Joe to pay respect. Everybody else agrees to these rules, and I'm going to hold you to them. It's pretty interesting. There's an element of it that does feel like favoritism almost, at least from Joe's perspective, but it really solidly feels like a lesson being taught, and it lands, I think. Joe at one point goes, old man, no wait, Mr. Referee, I have to play by the rules, at least if I want to win. Yeah? Because he's gonna take winning away from me if I don't play by the rules. I think this is how you kind of have to force someone who's in this moderately developed delinquent mindset. I don't really know. I'd love to have like a child psychology perspective on this that's well founded in research. If somebody refuses to play by the rules of the game, say on the playground or whatever, they're like, "No, I play with the toys myself." How do you structure consequences and situations in order to not be like punishing the child and causing them harm in the process, but to get them to learn the rules around sharing with people? I think that the answer is you don't get to play the game if you don't play by the rules. That's like the fundament of it. I think that's how it works even in animal models, right? We have models of rats playing wrestling, and when rats don't play by the rules, other rats stop playing with them. And it's like really bad for them because they need it in the way that our children need socialization in order to become whole people. They need socialization in order to like survive. So it like it's a big impulse or incentive for rats to like play by the rules of their own constructed game. I guess that's what we do here too. We're gonna make the way that Dompe frames it is the way that Joe needs to hear it. If you do those things, you auto lose. And that's what we want to instill when we're talking about winning without honor or like winning with honor. It's the idea that if you win without honor, you auto lose. Suzaku Kurugi from Code Geass has this line that he says a bunch of times. He says, results gained by contemptible means are worth nothing, or something like that. It's like, if your means, first of all, the ends never justify the means. And if the means that you use would undercut your ends, the ends aren't worth it. Winning without honor isn't winning. And if you're not going to learn that and know it internally, then we're going to structure the rules of the game to make it so that if you do dishonorable things, you auto lose. And that's a threat that Joe will actually listen to. That's cool. He's purposely backed himself into a corner. Are you ready yet? Hey, wait, not so fast, buddy. I hope you don't get knocked out too soon. Thank you. You two, I hope you don't get knocked out too soon and make everybody here happy, because everybody here wants to see you down. Damn, Aoyama, bars! Super hot fire out this boy's mouth. Holy shit. And Joe goes back, he's like, whoa, let's run that back. I gotta spit another one at you. Hold on. What the fuck did you say? Hey man, just chill. We could be friends until the bell rings, and then I'm gonna kick your ass. Just goes back to doing his little bounces. Huh? Damn it, Joe, do something. And even Sachi, the total stand falls from her little perch. Feels symbolic here. It's like, you truly don't have a leg to stand on, Joe. Hey, you're not allowed to talk to me like that just because you got some lessons. Even if you beg, I'll show you no mercy. Penalty. Yep, penalty. You get it, right? Hey, whoa, you're just gonna nitpick so Aoyama can win? Do you really prefer? And Joe gets really angry here, like really angry in his face. I wonder who drew these. It's like a different look on Dompe's. It's a different feel for Dompe's face and a very different feel for Joe's as well. You really prefer him? You really hate me? We can see where Joe goes here, right? It's like, why would he be doing this? Well, the only reason is because he likes Aoyama better than me and he hates me. Couldn't be any other reason, right? Yet another point deduction. Couldn't be that he has, like, a deep and abiding respect for boxing that completely outweighs his care about you. Couldn't be that. Couldn't be that he really wants to teach you a lesson and knows that it's going to take some toughness in order to get it into your thick fucking skull. Couldn't be that. Yet another point deduction. He seems really grim when he's saying this, too. Penalty can go as far as automatic DQ. What? You want to lose by auto DQ? Huh. He drops his arms. I don't want that. I can't have that. Finally, Joe gives in. Old man, no, Mr. Referee. I'm still not giving up. That was dumb, dude. Ah, don't worry about it. I'll still beat the shit out of him. He turns with this smug ass face. Pwap. Gets stung by a bee right in the nose. And that just continues. Joe flails. Joe slips. Aoyama thwacks him in the open delivered chin. Aoyama's got his eyes open. He's got his stance ready. He is waiting for every opportunity. He's going to take it. There's no reason for him to hold back either. Joe's made himself the villain. 100%. And he's weakened himself by using the overly heavy gloves. So the liver blow doesn't end up being very impactful at all. Kid just punches him it's right here. It's right here. It's right there. You want to thwack it a little. It feels. Went a little bit too hard there. Thwack it a little bit, it hurts really bad. Do it to the side over here, and you can get yourself in the kidneys, too. That's really fun. Yikes. Already, his mouth is bloody, his punches are dull, and Aoyama's are not. Aoyama's are sharp as knives. Bam. Psh, psh, psh. These little thwacks, and we get these slow-mo motions for it that let us see it all happen. Boom! Aoyama's got his eyes on him. He's moving the whole time. He's finding his openings, and Joe looks like a freaking flippy, flappy, wavy arm, inflatable arm, flailing tube man. He looks bad. Looks like he's gonna get his ass kicked, and he's getting his ass kicked. He literally flails at nothing for a while. Closes his eyes and flails at nothing. Yeah, there's some great looking scenes. We'll see who's worthy. The drop into pure yellow, and then into Joe's mental space. Am I going to lose? Why? Why do I have to lose? Why me? That's where we end it. So we ended last episode inside Joe's mental space with him literally saying, I can't lose, not me. And now his mental space is, am I going to lose? Why do I have to lose? So here's the point where we've driven a wedge into Joe's identity. Yeah, we've driven a nail into it, and it's got cracks all around it. And that nail says, you're gonna lose, Joe. And his first response was, I'm not gonna lose. I don't lose ever. I will not. I cannot. And now, as he's getting beat, he's like, wait, am I actually gonna lose? It's a possibility now. He's not just shut off to it. But can he take it and turn it into power? Can he take this and turn it into something that we can actually respect? Into a victory that's not just hollow? We'll have to watch the next episode to find out. Also, there was one other cut that was in here that I thought was really cool, and I'm now not able to find it. So let me try to find it. Oh, can we talk about this moment? Can't you stop the down count? In the ring, talking back is a penalty. If you keep this up, you'll lose by disqualification. And he immediately starts to talk back. He starts to talk back, and Dompe just shoves him to the corner. I think Dompe prevents him from being DQ'd here. Obviously, it's Dompe's own DQing, but, like, if Dompe's internally going to follow the rules, he's like, I gotta DQ you if you're gonna keep talking at me. Okay, I'm still looking for a cut. I haven't been able to find it. I don't know which one it was that I was thinking of. Huh, okay. Give me a sec, and then we'll move on to the next episode. Hey. Watch Joe every day. Let's watch episode 20 of Ashita no Joe. Beep beep timer. Cool. Right where we left off. Will I lose? Am I gonna lose? Battle-scarred victory. Oh, it's got Aoyama punching Joe. Ooh. Looks like he rocked him right there. Oh, he's got him in the pommel. Play his own keepy uppy. Mm, I don't know about that. Oh, nice. That was cool. It's over. I don't think it's over. Oh, that was weird floor. Yeah, he was out standing up. Oh, Nishi gave him a fucking look. 5-5-1. Was that -2 or penalty? Yeah, stupid to refuse to. Ah, Nishi's standing with him. God damn it, Sachi. Yeah, he's serious business, man. Oh, he's gonna fall back on his training? Holy shit, good! Is... What? This is a different fight than it was, but Ayama's good. Ooh, big heavy gloves, though. You didn't train with those. He has no snap, either. Lack of music and just focus on the eyes. The basics aren't working, dude. The basics are not working. I think we've reused every fight sequence so far. He's elsewhere now. Where's you? Where is he? Oh. Oh. Are you now? Double down. Push it all away. It doesn't matter anyway. Down? Down. So why get up? The waves. The ocean. Ah. All in his mind. Let's give it up. We don't win this one. We don't win this game. Not gonna play it anymore. Whoa. You're alone, right? Yeah. He's boxing. Further and further away. Yes, it does. But it'll all be over if you don't get up right now. He's up. Oh, Rikishi was really walking away. Now the unexpected. Has it happened? He knows he can lose. He knows what it means to. It's not just the ego either, it's actually loss. I'm not sure how to interpret it. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, we're building up Aoyama now. Joe's gonna kick his ass. Wait, is he taking the gloves off? No, he's blocking. He's come up with something new. Nani? Determination in his eyes, too. What do you think? What do you think about this, Dompe? It feels so badass. Hi, Nishi. But he's fighting with all he's got by taking this defensive stance. Oh. Oh. He's respecting the game. So that I can win with honor. He realizes his own vulnerability, his capacity to fail. He's actually incorporating the possibility of losing. He's not doubling down. He's incorporating it. He's like, I can actually lose, and I'm going to act accordingly. It's not, I can't lose. I'll never lose. I just fight, and I'll do my best, and I'll win. No, he's like, okay, I can lose. This is serious. I'm going to take it seriously. And that means not just showboating. It means holding back, too. He shook Aoyama. Where do I punch him? Yeah. Yeah, because his weakness was his forwardness, his like all-encompassing fight for everything. You just step out of the way and let him trip himself. But now he's actually engaging his opponent. Let's do this. But now we have Aoyama back in his previous mode. Okay, there he goes. He locked in. Joe moved. He's playing his own game. Oh, we got new footwork. Joe's invented his own footwork. Joe! Where did this come from, Joe? Where did it come from? Yes, this is a good match indeed. Aoyama shook. He's getting tired too. Whoa! And then the quick jabs popping out. Now he's fully defending and fully threatening. This is a real fight. Yeah. Opening. You've overextended, Aoyama. Not hesitating. Is that all it takes? That's the first time he punched him. It can't be all it takes. Subarashi. Ah. Oh, he is super shook. They drive each other. Hmm. Oh, wow, he won. Via knockdowns? He didn't knock him out. So he TKO'd him? Which isn't as, like, victory as Joe would have wanted, you know? But he won. Alright, can we talk it out and be friends after the match? Is there any way? No. That's still not part of Joe's repertoire. He starts breathing finally. Yeah. That had to have been exhausting. And Dompe's in your corner again. Whoa. Growth. Oh. He's not okay, though. Dope. Spent. Yeah. Subarashi. Everybody clap. Everybody clap. Come on, everybody. Can I get a little clap? Come on, everybody. Can I get a little clap? Indeed. Yeah, it forced Joe to evolve so much. But it's still unclear exactly what Danpei was trying to teach him. Truly? Oh, is that them? Is that Ayama and Joe? And Danpei in the middle? What's up, guys? Barbed wire to frame us. Oh, forgive me? Uh-huh. Because he played them against each other. Okay, tell us all. Spill the tea. Spill the tea, old man. Hmm. Which means we were just using Aoyama-kun. Damn it. No! Poor Aoyama. No, just holding on to the barbed wire. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. But to defend yourself, to lose, to fear. Huh. So he had to threaten you. Saw Aoyama. Opportunity. Used you to climb the wall, to break it down. Yeah. Yeah, he's got it, too. Mmm. You played me, old man! He invented a new technique. Yeah. You're truly exceptional, Joe. Can you forgive me? Wow, it broke him up. Poor Donpei. But Joe turns away, huh? Yeah, that would be a lot to take in. Please tell him you do have a future in boxing. Like, you're really good at this. Keep it going. I'm also really sorry. Yeah, good. I guess he at least gets that. Still kind of sucks. A little bit rocked, Joe. What are you actually thinking, my guy? What are you actually thinking? Okay. Oh. Oh. Whoa! What? You can kick their ass. Let's get training. Huh! Huh! Oh my god, it's the best possible outcome. Minus using Aoyama a little bit, but holy fuck, that's the best possible outcome. Your weird wizardry has worked, old man. It worked! Okay, I'm gonna... Oh yeah, we gotta be building up to the Rikishi battle. I wonder if we're gonna do more, like, training together against each other sort of stuff. I wonder if it looked like we were gonna get to the ring. I saw a frame of it. Yeah, didn't mean to. Looked like we were gonna get to the ring, like fully in the ring with Rikishi and Cho. Maybe just at the end of the episode. Holy shit! Okay. Okay. Wow. 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 What an ending to this chonk. It's been a hard journey. It's been really hard on Joe. And it's been hard on Aoyama too, although kind of joyfully so. The fight itself, like, the fight itself is kind of a lot of reused frames of the previous fight, but then they're pieced together around facial expressions in a cool way, right up until the point where, like, Joe starts executing on the basics, and it's not enough because Aoyama's got all these defensive techniques. The basics, and it's not the basics that he can rely on. He has to find something else. So Joe goes down, and he can hear the ocean. Back to that starting point, the point where he chose, you know? This feels great down here. But then in his mind, where have you been? He could reconnect to the old man. But when he turns around, the old man is with Aoyama, and farther away, gone, gone. Rikishi turns and walks away from him, no longer interested. Danpei pulls away from him. I'll do it! I'll do anything! Don't go! Don't leave me! And with that, Joe awakens, and we call it vulnerability in his eyes. We put the double highlights in there, and he's like really seeing clearly, but he's also open to the outside. Vulnerability, we call it. It's the piece that in our beginning discussion, I said I didn't think Joe could do. That I thought you go down one of two paths, and one of them is doubling down. And that's the path where you say, I'm not vulnerable. I've never been vulnerable. It's impossible. But when you're faced up against losing, failing, breaking, shattering, and you're, as Dompe says at the end, in a pit with nobody to help you out of it, you can double down and pretend that you're not vulnerable, but it's much stronger if you accept that and then act around it. And Joe does. We spend a lot of time with other characters watching him, observing him. His eyes are truly vulnerable now. Fight! Let's go, Aoyama, go! And Joe takes a new stance and stops Aoyama dead in his tracks. I really like this frame. We've done away with like all of the on-face sketchy elements of Joe. He's just clear. He's kind of bright and saturated. It's not like harsh, but there's a solidity into him that wasn't there before. And the camera follows it too. We drop the music out except for like tones of importance. Brrr. And the camera holds on Joe in these really strong, imposing ways. And then a little bit later, we have him loom up above like a rock. Even here, he's like rock solid, looming. Everybody else's faces are like, huh? I don't get it. But the show does a really good job of conveying to us that even if we don't understand what Joe's doing, this matters. This is a change. It takes until the end when we really describe it all, when Dompe breaks it down a little bit for it to really, truly make sense. You look like a turtle hiding. Just being stupid and giving up, right? No, he's accepting that he can lose. He's accepting that he's vulnerable, right? There's the arrogant fighting with your hands down, like, ha ha, ha ha, ha, come and get me. I'm invulnerable, says that, right? It's like, I'm invulnerable, you can't touch me. And that's strong. There's something strong about it, but what if it's wrong? Well, then you're about to get touched. You're about to get hands put on you. Joe's been having hands put on him. So he does the other thing. He's like, okay, I actually have a soft underbelly. I'm actually a full person, right? Like in a psychological context, this would be like, I'm actually a whole person who has weaknesses and vulnerabilities. And so I can engage with the world protecting those, right? Not just pretending like I can handle whatever and it'll all be fine. You take a different stance when you do that. And so he makes one up. He doesn't have one. He never learned any from Dompe. Dompe never taught him anything. So he learns it himself. He teaches it to himself. He reaches out to the unknown and he chooses it. You're right. It's an undignified stance. He's protecting himself like a turtle. But look at his sense of urgency. It's a new Joe. It's not that I don't fear you both as a team. I do. But what I'm doing right now is bowing to the awesomeness, to the deepness, to the bottomless strength and potential of fighting itself. Ah, there we go. Joe is no longer saying, I'm the ultimate, and fighting is this thing that I dabble in, that I'm always good at. He's like, no, fighting is respectable. Fighting is scary. Fighting is real shit and people die. I'm going to treat it that way. I'm going to take it seriously. So from where we started with Joe totally disrespecting the art, the ritual, the format, the form, classiness of it, right? Now he respects the truth of it. This is real stuff. I thought his punches were weak and harmless, but I've been taking them and they're not weak and harmless. I will fight much more defensively so that I won't lose. There you go. I'll do what it takes. This is a totally different perspective from I can't lose and therefore whatever I do is good enough. Right? It's I won't lose. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes. No matter how stupid I look, no matter how foolish it is, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to treat this with respect. I'm going to treat the situation like I can lose because doing that gives me the best chances of not losing. Yeah? It's like defensive driving. You go out on the road and your attitude is like, woo, nobody's ever going to hit me. I'm never going to hit anybody. It's all good. you're going to get in more crashes than somebody who goes out on the road and goes, this is a dangerous circumstance and I need to pay attention everywhere. I need to take a defensive stance and be careful about my own actions and the actions of everybody around me so that I don't accidentally hurt myself or let somebody else do something stupid and hurt me. Defensive boxing. But beyond defensive, it's just aware of your own vulnerability, not pretending like you are better than, not pretending like you're separate and untouchable. And so light comes back into the frame and everything is changed. And we exhibit that with this little tilt. Joe raises up and Aoyama drops down. All right, do it. Fight. Go, fight him. But I don't know how. Joe has just become a more frightening adversary. Whoa. He finally remembered to defend himself. Go fight him. Now Aoyama locks in and goes for it, and Joe is gone. We do some fun stuff as Joe demonstrates that he's learned his own form of footwork. It looks different from other footwork, but he's had the example of Rikishi and he's had the example of Aoyama. This little cut of them sort of dancing and then dancing back around is really cool. Really smooth and fluid. Brrr, brrr. Oh my gosh, he's using his feet. Oh my gosh. The old man, the grandfather, is grateful for being here, and Joe has ascended to new heights by admitting to himself that he could lose. By incorporating and integrating his weakness. My guy actually did it. I really didn't think he could do it. I thought he was too damned headstrong. And it took weeks. It took treating him pretty badly. It took backing him into a corner and dropping him into a pit and forcing him to climb out. But not only did he climb, he freaking invented pitons. He invented his own method of climbing. Now you're in danger, Aoyama. And it's a fight. It's finally a fight. And unfortunately, I think there's one flaw here. It's that this fight doesn't go on very long. Joe wins it too fast. He grabs the techniques. He uses them against his opponents in order to win. Aoyama goes for this. Joe lands a punch. And in really short order, right after that, we go to our corners. And then we go back in and we enter into Joe's internal monologue. I doubted that Aoyama would win. Oh, no, we're not in internal monologue. Sorry, it's the grandfather talking. Deeply moved. It's a wild sport. And it evolves because of the human instinct of self-defense and the attacks. This is the king of all sports. And with that, without a huge knockout, which Joe promised he would do, he doesn't need that. It doesn't matter, right? That's part of the emptiness of it. It's like, I won in the most bombastic way. Yeah, how about you just win? I won without ever holding up my guard, okay? How about you just win? How about we start there? You can showboat later. But Joe always starts with showboating. He has to refine down to this point where he actually boxes seriously. The interplay between their eye lines is really cool. And then Donpei returns to his side. And Joe tells him, go handle your boy. And they both end up collapsing. Applause all around for a great match fought well. Yeah. Yeah. You may fight Rikishi again. And then we do this ending scene. And Donpei gets fully on all fours and pleads with them to forgive him for using them. For using Aoyama, teaching him defense in order to make him kind of a perfect weapon against Joe. And a perfect way to incept ideas into Joe. And manipulating Joe. Yeah? Doing things to him, not telling him what he's doing in order to have a particular result. To force him to evolve. It's unkind, and Donpei knows that it was unkind. So I really appreciate that he talks this through. And it makes sense. It makes sense exactly why he would do it. And coaches do this kind of stuff to their trainees. It was all for the sake of boxing. It was all for Joe. I used Aoyama-kun to make you stronger. Gotta say, I don't like that he used Aoyama-kun, but Aoyama gained from it too. I would love it if it folded into Aoyama, like, actually trying to become a boxer and becoming good at it. It would be really cool. But he goes straight through it. I shoved you away and I treated you badly. It's because I believed I had a duty to boxing. My duty to boxing is greater than my duty to you. Just like the referee in the ring, right? My duty to the rules overweighs my emotional attachment to you, Joe. My duty as your coach. And he frames it as people who are aggressive learn to punch and kick, but you'll never learn to defend. And even if you do, it'll slip away. So I had to get it into your brain in a way where you knew that it was the most useful technique. And that's something you're only going to do if you create it, right? If you're forced into a corner and then it's the rope that helps you survive, you know? Then you're going to hold on to it. Then you're going to care about it. Then you're going to lean on it when you need to. Yes, you are weak, but you have that passion. But it was all just an act. To protect, with little regard to how he looked, Joe used the stance and the footwork. Couldn't have done better if you were taught by a coach. I wanted Joe to fall into a pit where he was all alone and no one tried to help him so he could learn to climb out of that cruel hell all by himself. Yeah. I gotta say, it's impossible to see it when I'm in it, when I've been in it. But looking back over my life, the times when I have found myself in pits without somebody to help me climb out are the times that I have grown the most rapidly and in the most surprising ways. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck. And kind of like the early discussion we had about anxiety taking years off your life, I think it actually takes years off of your life to spend that time in the pit without support and feeling terrible and, having to earn it, We, some pieces of our culture hold those things up as good and things that should be pursued, and they have consequences. There are side effects of misery and loss and being alone and not having people to rely on. But there are also benefits. You also learn and you grow in interesting ways. The fight against loneliness, they were all for the sake of tomorrow lessons, the 6th and the 7th. So we frame everything as backlit darkness. Joe turns and walks away, kind of unclear what he's feeling, And Aoyama cuts off his apology here. Nope, I learned a bunch. You taught me I could be successful. I can train. I can grow. I can get better at stuff. It's a good lesson to take away. Aoyama's got a great attitude. I wish that it felt like we were going to do more with that and not just never see him again. Joe's kind of freaked out and he screams and beats on stuff. Just has to get this energy out, it seems. Little slap to Aoyama. Stupid. And a true and genuine, I think, apology. The little pull and slap is freaking dumb, but I've hated you and made fun of you. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Your punches really got to me, and I thought I was going to lose. I will never make fun of you again. I won't let other people in it either, and also, probably they won't, because you're dangerous now. And you, old man, I'm an idiot. I'm shook. I'm shook by Joe saying that. I'm really a blockhead. There's a lot that I don't know and I don't get, and I'm stupid about it and I do it wrong. But I'm tired of not getting better. I want to become stronger and I want you to help me do that. When Joe snapped in and decided that for the sake of tomorrow was worth it, that was a big change for him. But this is even bigger. Because that was like, oh, these pieces of information from the outside help me reach my own solid, separate, individual, personal goal, But now it's actually seeing eye to eye with what Dompe wanted in the beginning. Joe, I'm going to make you a boxer. I'm going to make you great. I'm going to make you strong. Joe wasn't able to hear it. Now he hears it. I'm a big idiot and I need a coach, actually. He just spent a couple weeks without a coach trying to train his best and he pulled himself through it, but I want to become stronger and I want you to help me do that. We got more matches to fight. Joe! And that's where we leave it. Joe has awakened. He's awakened to his own vulnerability, to the potential of losing, and like gold in the cracks, it has made him stronger. I'm genuinely surprised and deeply impressed. I really like this. I really like this. It's not a perfect payoff for all the like confusion that we've had to have over the last few episodes, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close to perfect. It does a lot. It repositions Joe internally. It introduces us to a core part of Joe's internal world and then shows it change over the course of circumstance. It has to. So now Joe emerges stronger than ever and with an attitude that's actually going to enable him to grow further. Now he comes up against a threat that he's already faced down, but one that didn't take him quite as seriously the first time around. How will Joe train for and move toward a battle against Rikishi? We'll find out next time on Ashita no Joe. Thanks so much for watching these episodes. These were a blast. I think this was a really good conclusion to this little arc, and I'm glad. I'm glad. It was a hard arc to watch for portions of it, and it folds together in a way that I find really impressive. I hope we don't ever have to do this again, where we're doing a situation where we're like tricking Joe and tricking the audience at the same time, because it's uncomfortable. But out of that discomfort has grown a new stability, a new strength, a new future, a new tomorrow. So I'll see you next week for more Joe. Thanks for watching this week's episodes. Again, I hope you loved them. I'll catch you next time. Much love. Peace.